Good morning, guys. My screen has like a thing on it. This isn't the ideal spot to film. You can see like sun spots all over me. And I have my little niece here and it is super early in the morning, so I still feel like I'm like puffy. I've got my coffee, but I thought I'd talk to you guys about something that I've wanted to mention for a while because I've actually had some questions and I know nothing about this subject. I just know my personal experience and what I'm going through, what I'm dealing with, and what I've been doing for it. So I thought I'd just share just because you guys have questions, and also maybe I can help somebody, or maybe we can have further discussions in the comments and figure out what we're all going through. So that subject, you probably already know from the title, is anxiety. And honestly, I didn't think I had anxiety until a few months ago. And now I'm kind of like dealing with, what do I do when it pops up? What do I do to prevent it and stuff like that? So I'm super new at this. People have been dealing with this for years, and everybody experiences anxiety differently. So it's not just one thing and then you do one thing to get rid of it. It's everybody deals with it differently. That's why it's really hard to pinpoint even if you have it. Sorry, I have like a hair or something. So it can take a while to even find out that you even have it. So I'm gonna try to make this video really short too, because there really isn't that much to talk about and there really isn't that much to share, but I did wanna just get it out there. So ever since I found out that I have anxiety, I have tried to figure out, when did it start? Because I have not always been like this. And honestly, I can think of a few instances where something has happened to me or somebody else, and it's kind of left like an impression on me and has kind of scared me to either repeat what we were doing or, you know, put myself in that situation again. And it's kind of made me more of an introvert. And I can share some of those things with you because they're honestly silly. And I think that most people, if it happens to them, they just pick right up and they go on. But for some reason, it's kind of held me back. So a few of them before we even had kids were fainting spells. So I was out with Chris and some friends one time and I fainted, and it just, this is the first time I ever fainted, first and only time I've ever fainted. And it just was very scary. And I know people faint all the time for different reasons, so I don't even know why I fainted, but I did. And ever since then, it's just made me not always think about it, but if I go out again, I'm always like, oh, do I feel funny? What if I faint again? And then Chris has actually fainted 2 times when I've been with him, and that's been super scary too, to have somebody faint that like your loved ones fainted and you don't know what to do. So I think those 2 things stick out in my mind. And then as far as the kids go, just things that have happened with them, like throwing up in the car, like car sick. I don't know, it's silly to me, but those are things that get me really worked up. Like Chris really wants to go on a cruise with the kids, and I think that that would be so much fun, but it's really gonna take a lot for me to agree and to plan it, because I'm nervous they're gonna be sick the whole entire time, because they get car sick going on a straight road. We're not even in the mountains and they get car sick. So I don't know, I'm going off on a tangent now, but there's a few things that I can think of specifically, and there's more than I shared, but it's just kind of held me back now. And so I think that's what's brought on the anxiety, to be honest. I don't know how long I've had it. That fainting spell of mine was before Jane was even born, so it was like 6 or 7 years ago, but it has held me back some. So a few months ago, I was dealing with what I thought was chest pain. It wasn't, when I say chest pain, I feel like that's like red alert. It wasn't chest pain to where I felt like I needed to rush to the hospital. I would feel lightheaded sometimes, not with the chest pain. I just had some very weird symptoms, and they would go on and off, and they would come on, and you know, people would say like, are you stressed? Or they would ask me all this. I'm like, no, I'm not stressed. And they're like, well, you have 3 kids. I'm like, yeah, I have 3 kids. But we're fine. I'm fine. Oh, and I would always say like, but if this is anxiety or stress, why hasn't it popped up when I really have been anxious and I've known, like, okay, we're going on a road trip, the kids are probably gonna get car sick, I'm getting really anxious and stressed. Why haven't those symptoms popped up then? Like, they pop up on a time where I'm super relaxed, the kids are being great, and all of a sudden I'm getting like chest pain and being anxious. So that kind of held me back to think, like, is this anxiety or is this something else underlying? Because this is very strange that it's popping up at times where I wouldn't think it would. I already feel like this video is all over the place, but long story short, I ended up going to the urgent care. I'll leave that video up in the iCard, and they did like an EKG, they did an x-ray on my chest to look at my lungs. They did all sorts of things and everything came back fine. They checked my blood for anemia, which I've been anemic before. That came back normal. And so they just said, you probably have a little bit of anxiety. And so then I did a little bit of research on anxiety, and I've talked to a few people, and honestly, I think that's what I have. And even after finding out that's what I had, I tried really hard to relax and try not to worry about things. But honestly, that makes it come on more, in my opinion. But I had the chest pain for like weeks on end. It was just like it just kept being there and it wasn't going away. And I didn't know if, you know, now I knew I had anxiety and I was thinking about it too much and it wasn't going away because I was worried. The doctor ended up giving me some Xanax to see if that would help. And honestly, I don't want to be taking Xanax every single day. It makes me sleepy. It makes me feel like unmotivated. I know obviously different medications can make people feel differently. So maybe it makes you feel different, or there's a different medication that you like, but this is the only one I tried. I'm one to not even take medication unless I have to. So I was really hesitant to take it, but I wanted to see if it would work. And if it did work, then I would know for sure that it was the anxiety. And I could, you know, wean off of it and then kind of deal with it as we go. So I started taking the Xanax, and sure enough, it worked. The chest pain went away, and I don't know if I definitely felt different, but I think it was because of the medication. But the chest pain and those symptoms went away. So, but I didn't like how I felt on the Xanax. I felt unmotivated, I felt really sluggish, and I felt tired. So anyways, I stopped taking the Xanax to see if the chest pain would come back, and it didn't. And so I've just held on to the Xanax just, you know, to have on hand. I don't know, where am I going with this? Long story short, it's been probably 2 months now since I went to the urgent care, I believe. February, March, April. Yeah, about 2 months. And I'll still have bouts of chest pain or where I feel super anxious, and now I know that it's anxiety, and it'll come on still at times where I'm doing fine, or I think I'm doing fine. The amount of things I have on my plate add up without me even realizing. So I have 3 kids that don't go to school yet. They're home with me every day. I'm in charge of cleaning this house. I have slight OCD, slight type A. I'm not just throwing those words out to say, oh, I'm type A. I honestly am slightly OCD and type A about organization in a clean house. And so I think that adds on because I feel anxious if my house is dirty. And so that adds on, obviously with 3 kids at home all day, the house is gonna be dirty. But then you think about the toilets need to be cleaned and the floors need to be cleaned and all this other stuff, which is why I have a cleaning schedule to try to keep my brain together. And then I have my niece that comes over sometimes, so that's 4 kids. And then Chris works from home, so we're having chaos with him here and trying to be quiet while he's on the phone calls. And then we have other extracurricular activities that we take the kids to, and we have family, and we have just things that need to be done, and it all adds up, and it's all good blessings. It's all fun things. I love my kids to death. I don't want to say like they're giving me anxiety. I love them so, so much. I love my niece so much. I would want her over here every single day. I like cleaning. I honestly do like cleaning. I love that we take Jane to dance class and we take the kids to the library, and we are so blessed and happy that we live here with our family and we can just go over to their house on a Friday night and have dinner, because we didn't have that before. I don't know, it's all good things, but for some reason it can trigger anxiousness. And it makes me sad that it does. And it makes me bummed out that it can just come on at any moment. So now let's move on. So I have slight anxiety. I don't have it every day. Maybe now that I had that bout a few months ago where it was constant, I would say now, since it went away, I'll probably get chest pains or signs of anxiety once every 2 weeks, which I can live with. I can deal with that. And when I have it now, I don't go and take a Xanax right away. I try to go outside and exercise. I try to go on a run or something, get some fresh air. I try to take a bath or relax away from kids and away from my to-do list. And I just try to take a deep breath and keep my mind off of it. And I think it helps that I know what it is, so I don't get nervous like, oh, I have chest pain, or what's this happening to my body? It helps that I know that it's anxiety and that it'll go away. And most of the time it happens in the evening, and so I'll just go to bed and the next morning I'm good to go. I have taken a Xanax or two since I stopped taking it a few months ago, just because it's gotten so bad, or or I took it in anticipation of an event where I knew that I would get anxious, and it's just good to have on hand in my case, but I don't take it all the time. Anyways, I know a lot of you guys are against medications. I know everyone has their opinions on them, but that is what works for me, and that's my story. So anyways, that's pretty much it. I feel like this video was very scattered. I didn't write any notes down. I wanted to share this and be raw with you guys and just tell you what was on my mind, and give you an update about what's been going on, because a lot of you guys have asked, how are you feeling since then? What's happening? And honestly, like I said, one day I just woke up and it was gone. The chest pain and all the symptoms were gone. And I've just kind of been dealing with it from there. And now that it's been a few months, I figured I could go ahead and tell you what's really happening and what's been going on since then. So I don't know, I hope that when I shared that I might have anxiety when I got out of the urgent care that one day, I had so many people in the comments tell me, yeah, I think you have anxiety. I have anxiety. These were my symptoms, or this is what I did, or try this. And honestly, it made me feel so much better. I'm sad that you guys have anxiety as well, or depression or anything like that. But it is good to know that other people are going through it as well. And I think a lot of people have anxiety. And honestly, I think a lot of people don't even know, because I think I've had it for a really long time and I didn't know. I don't know, I hope this video can maybe help some of you guys if you're having weird symptoms or strange feelings, or if you're, I don't know, the only word I can think of is anxious, but obviously that would be common sense. If you're feeling like you're not wanting to do something because of an outcome of something else, and it's making you feel worried, or it's making you feel stressed out, maybe it could be anxiety. And oh, I wanted to say this too. I feel like I push it off thinking, oh, now I have kids and I am different because I'm a mom. And I feel like that had something to do with it as well, but it all started right before I had kids, and then I think it kind of built up from there. And yes, you change. Obviously, you change totally when you become a mom, but I think that I kind of brushed it off as that, like, oh, I'm different. I don't want to do that because I'm a mom now, or I have kids and I don't want to go and do that, or I don't want to be there, or whatever it is that I was feeling anxious about. I kind of just brushed it off as that, and it could have been a combination of the both. I don't know, there's all different, like I said, everybody that has anxiety has a different story, has a different coping mechanism, has a different has different symptoms when it comes on, has different ways to help it to go away. So I thought in the comments we all can share our stories, we can talk to each other, we can love on each other, we can help each other feel better. And it was very hard for me to sit in front of the camera and share this because I feel like there are a lot of opinions as well. And so be kind, be sweet. You can share my video if you feel the need to do so. And I just hope that you guys have a great week, a great day. I hope that you guys continue to listen to your bodies and your minds and take care of yourself as much as you can, especially if you are a mom. But anyways, I'm gonna go before this video gets any more crazy. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys learned something. If you did, give it a thumbs up for me. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel. My videos aren't always like this. I have more mommy videos and vlogs of our family of 5. And we'll see you guys in our next video. Bye.